All right, team. I'd like to add a couple of things to the Renko tutorial that I did yesterday, and the couple of things that I'd like to add is a concept that I have been working on, and if you're interested, obviously, you can go ahead and use the indicators that you already have, most specifically the AMA opening range indicator, which is right here, to plot some of the zones that that I'm using to create the dynamic songs that I have been working on. And I'll share everything with you in a couple of minutes. All right. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I want to explain something that I have been working on here first. So, as you guys know, my focus is always on a 30-minute chart. And I found a way in NinjaTrader to add these boxes here uh, to any other time frame. Basically, just a shadow or a 30-minute time frame over any other candles that you may be working with. So let's go, for example, and take a look at the Renko setup that I have shared with you, and work on it for a little bit so you guys have an idea of what I'm saying. So I'm gonna basically do all the zones uh, from scratch so you can practice and be able to duplicate them on your own. So I'm gonna load up the template, the same template that I have shared with you, which you all should have in the channel. So let's pretend that I'm starting basically the same way that your chart looks like today. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to delete certain things here first, and then we'll get that template going, and I will explain exactly what I mean by loading up your chart. You're supposed to have this template here, and we're gonna load that up. And this is exactly what I shared with you uh, yesterday. So one thing that we're gonna do here is we're going to right click. We're gonna go to data series, and to add the 30-minute shadow, what we need to do is we need to add the same instrument once again, and you'll see it right here on the bottom. Then we're gonna change this to minutes, and we're gonna choose 30 minutes, and the boxes that are here, it will print, so you will see what it does. If you don't change the panel, it will print on panel number 3 because it will automatically add another panel on the bottom here. So in order for you to get it into the right panel, you need to choose panel number 1, and voila. All I did was to add another chart to it, and data series once again, add the instrument, change this to time in here, last minute 30, and you can see the settings right here: box, transparent, and box, and just price marker. Everything else was defaulted to it, and all I did was just to say apply and okay, and then you get a 30-minute shadow of uh, a time frame on a Renko chart. You can do any time frame that you may like, by the way. So this is really up to you and the way you want to configure your chart. Like I said, I didn't change anything. Everything else that you see here is exactly the way your template is, and there you have it. Now, another concept that I have been working on is the ability to work with dynamic zones, and I work with a couple of zones that are important to me, um, based on market psychology. And this is something that like I said, I have been working on my own. Uh, and I had never heard anybody having a concept similar to this. So you, you can apply it if you want, and if it's not important to you, then you don't just skip, and you don't have to do anything else. Then you're pretty much done. Adding the 30-minute shadow over the Renko charts. But if you're interested in applying the concept that I have been working on, so the one thing that you need to do which you already have this indicator here, is adding the AMA opening range indicator. So we're gonna look at it again, and I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna add one instance of the AMA opening range indicator, and what I'm gonna do here is obviously I'm on Eastern time, so I'm gonna do Eastern time, and what I'm gonna choose here is I like to see uh, 7 a.m. 07 a.m. to 0702 0702, and I want this zone to be printed in let's just say I believe the color that I have. Let me just do apply here so you can see what it did. 7 a.m. to 7:02. So we're gonna go over here, and this is the zone right here. So I'm only gonna explain this once, and then you guys can do the exercise again on your own. So I got 7 a.m. to 7:02. If you want to mimic my colors, my 7 a.m. zone is orange. So I'm gonna go and do orange, and apologize, my son in the background. So I'm gonna go. I don't want the midline. I don't want that. I don't want this. All I want is a regular open and show the opening range. So I want to know when the period opens and then show me the range. Uh, the color, you can change it on, see what we can do here. So here's the zone right here. So 7 o'clock, here's the open. So if we double click again on it, you will be able to see, let's see what I can do here to change the colors, and you can do a lot of things. Custom period, obviously, is what I like to see. Actually, no, full period. Let me see how the other one is first, because I forgot the settings myself. um, so we're gonna go full period. Okay, full period, and the first two are the ones that are marked. So I'm gonna go back over here, full period, and the first two are the ones that are marked, and that's gonna enable the shadowing of the area. And what I do is I'll pick orange, and then I pick orange over here, and the dash regular open I would make one. I will make one so the plot's a little smaller, and the shading, let's just pick orange, and there you go. And you can just pick opacity of 10, and there you go right here. This is your orange zone, and it's right there automatically, and it will always stay there for you. You can see it on previous sessions as well. So there you have it. The second option is, or the second zone that I look at, is basically the European Open in that particular zone. So I'm gonna add the indicator again. I'm only gonna do these two zones. So I'm gonna add the same indicator, and then I'm gonna regular open in the range. I don't need the midline. I don't need the labels. All I need is the color, and this one is navy. So this one I'm just gonna leave 1 and 1, and royal blue opacity 10, and I'm just going to select a different time for this, which is Eastern time, and I'm just gonna say for this it would be 3 o'clock in the morning to 3:02. So it's a 2-minute range essentially what you're looking at. 3:02, and then I'm just gonna apply that, and I'm gonna take a look at it, and you can see in here how the zone generated right here at 3 o'clock. So this is the zone here for 3 o'clock. This is the zone for the 7 o'clock. So there you have your 30-minute shadow. You have your dynamic zone printing. Uh, and let's go to the RTH. We can modify this one a little bit. So I'll go back, and I'd say I was only gonna do two, but I'll do one more. So we add the same indicator, um, and then we're gonna do this for the uh, Eastern time, and then we're gonna do the 9 o'clock to or 9:30 to 9:32. We can do we can delete all of that. We can just leave the same zones again. Uh, just leave that, and then we can change the color. Let's pretend that for that you want a white, and then we can just do white and just do white here. So this is a 2 minute opening range. And you can see that zone right here. I mean, you can change the color to whatever you want. I believe I have it in blue at 2 minute. It just happened that in Renko, in the NQ is huge. So let's change that to 2 minute, and the opacity, we're gonna change the opacity to 10. So it's a little bit of transparent coloring here. Um, so there's three zones here that you already have. The other zone here is the 11 o'clock. I might as well just do them all. If you don't want to, you can cut it right here if you already know how to do it. But um, you know, or you can just keep watching and do the rest of them. Um, I just like doing it. So 11 o'clock to, oh, actually 11:30 to 11:32. So we're gonna do the same process here. Just leave the range and all of that. And this one I use green. So we're gonna use green for that. Use whatever green you like, but I'm just gonna do green, and then I'm gonna do green, and then I'm gonna do green, and I'm gonna do one, and I do one, and I do 10. So right here, I do the green session, and you'll see that here that at 11 a.m. This is a zone that just started to print right here at 11:30 when the European session closes, and you can see the activity after that. The goal with this is that, below the zone is a short, above the zone is a long. The moment we cut that, you can use the top of the session. You're just playing the breakout here, basically. That's what you're doing. Playing the breakout of the session. You see here on this big drop how the NQ broke and then came back over here, hit the top of the zone, and then just collapsed from there. And the other box that I use, or the other range that I use, I have shared with you 1, 2, 3, 4 already. The other range that I use is the 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock, just for the record, that's a overnight open. So Eastern time, we'll do 1600 to 1602. This was probably the smallest one of the ranges because not much happens. It's actually 1800. My apologies. 1800 to 1802. Then we do the same thing here, and this one I have 1 and 1, and then you can just put here. I believe I have a gray and opacity 10, and then you can just pick slate gray here, apply, and okay, and then that will print the 6 o'clock or 1800 hour range. If you want to see that in here, it will be this area here. So this here. The concept with this, when you look at it in a 2 minute chart, which is a lot less busy than a Renko chart, is that, as you can see here, Um, this is our 6 o'clock. This is our 6 o'clock open right here. This area is a 6 o'clock open here, and you see how the zone prints, and then you see the European open 3 o'clock is right above in that area. What you start seeing is that when the market open at 7 o'clock, you have two areas of resistance now because the price is below it. So Europe open, 6 o'clock open. You can see how we're below both of the zones here. So being below is not good. And this goes back, this opens right here, and obviously this zone is not created until 7 a.m. So what you can see is that this zone drops here. Then the 8 o'clock candle starts and pushes price back up into the zone. Then obviously from there we drop, and this is the RTH. So from the 7 o'clock hour to the RTH open, which is the blue line here, that's about 50 points in the NQ. Then RTH opens, and obviously, I wouldn't say, hey, how you stop here above 677 from here, but you can see that if you're trading the one-time framing concept coming from the overnight session, you will think, okay, well, here's my trade. RTH opens right here. Here's your one-time framing down. You will think, okay, well, this is my trade. If it opens right here at 9:30, this is your opening price right here, 610. This is your stop here, 633. Because applying the one-time framing concept, then that's basically what you're looking at, using the prior candle as your stop. Uh, Better yet, let's pretend that none of these things happen to you, and then you're just looking, you're just an RTH trader, and you just got here an RTH. Well, the zone that it would have been plotted for you, it would be the size of this candle here, which you can see here. You can see the high, and you can see the low of that candle. If I double click on this, you will see that this is the RTH 2-minute chart, and you will see that I have a zone from 9:30, right? 9:30 to 9:32, which is this zone right here. So the moment that we broke below that zone, obviously right here, below the open, that was your short opportunity, or break of that candle, that it was your short opportunity. And from there, you can see how we just basically collapse, which is a 601. Obviously, you're going to have the pivots and my targets to work with, but those are the things that you have to recognize and use in conjunction with the daily plan to find supporting resistance zones. As far as I'm concerned, from my own benefit, I will try to focus on executing uh, three to four trades a day, and I would be using these dynamic zones in conjunction with my daily plan and weekly plan to execute my trades as we transition into our day. I have plotted my weekly levels here. It looks a little busy right now, but I promise you, when it's time to execute, you want to have a good visualization of what's been happening since 3 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock to understand where we go. And you can see that each and every one of the zones from the 7 o'clock was basically acting as a um, as a waterfall because we were just heading down from each and every single one of the zones. So that's basically the way I look at it. When you're bouncing from one zone, you can target the next. You can target the next. You can target the next. It's really hard to see in here, but you can see that uh, that some of these areas that are naked, uh, they haven't been hit before, and unfortunately Ninja Trader doesn't extend these areas. But you can see, for example, here that one of the 7 o'clock zones, and if I put this zone right here, let's just pretend that this is it. So this is one of the 3 o'clock and 7 o'clock zones, and you can extend that out, and you will see how that zone in here became support. Obviously, this was probably news here, and you can see how extended out it is, and it was right here, and that's where the zone was. But look, you do what you wish with it. But been finding these zones very useful, as well as the 30-minute candle shadows. So I hope this helped you, and talk to you guys on Monday.